So what's going on, everybody? OGR back with another Big Blue Courtroom, and I have my guest on, Kid Blue, a guy I've worked with. I've gone to a Giants game with. I've worked on numerous occasions with. A guy I absolutely love. What's going on, Kid Blue? Obviously, the toughest question I'm going to ask you: how's your week been, my man?
Week's been great, man. It's been all right. Working hard out here as everybody's favorite mailman. But yeah, it's been great.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, my man. So, uh, I've asked this to every member of somebody I brought in the Big Blue Courtroom. I think I already know your answer, but who is your most underrated New York Giant of all time?
Oh, underrated New York Giant of all time.
Yes, I don't ask
Oh man.
first, as best, the most underrated.
All right, most underrated Giant of all time. I think the first one that comes to mind without thinking too hard is probably Amani Toomer. Just because he around the NFL. I mean, people know of him, but don't know how valuable he was to the team, and he's never made a Pro Bowl before, and probably won't be in the Hall of Fame in any sorts. But he was one of the Giants' best receivers for a long time. So I'll probably say I'm Amari Toomer.
What's going on, Gaps? Afghanistan, Obadiah. God, that's so hard. Louder Superset 356. So you were actually telling me before we went live that Leonard Williams is off the NFI list. So that is awesome news. I am really looking forward to that. So what do you think about that news? I mean, it's probably not too much of a comment here, but
I think it's a big deal just because, I mean, again, every time we get news about Leonard Williams, it's always negative, and we're always like, oh, Dave, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it, Dave? But this is a very positive, and listen, we've been bamboozled before with positive news with the whole Ross Cockrell situation. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and hopefully they don't come out and say this is fake news or something like that. But Leonard Williams being removed off the NFI list is actually good because training camp is just getting going. He can now work with the guys. He's going to be hopefully somewhat close to 100% if he's removed off that list. And I just hope he comes back healthy, man, because I think he's going to be a big part of the defensive line. And he better be a big part of the defensive line. He's the highest paid player on the Giants roster right now. The highest paid player who had a half sack last year. So let's just hope he produces, man. Yeah.
Look at the pressures and almost got there. Come on, Jimmy.
So close, but so far. He's the king of so close, but so far. Yeah.
Hey, if he's getting the quarterback off the spot, he's getting his disruption, I'm happy. You know what? We truly needed somebody to come in there and clean up those sacks. So that's where Fackrell, that's where Golden, all these guys screaming off the edge. Because, I mean, there's a lot of guys, think back to old school Giants football. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was putting pressure on the guys. Sometimes, somebody came in there like Leonard Marshall and cleaned up the sack. So, I mean, hey, it happens. So, what do you think of the Ross Cockrell news? I mean, obviously, it's not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Do you still think we should bring in another corner here, a veteran one at least?
Yeah, we're going to have to. Now, I don't really want to. Why? Because I really want to give the opportunity to these young corners to develop. My only question is, who the hell is going to do it, man? Because, I brought up Julian Love a bunch of times about the outside corner position. And a lot of people want that, including myself, but I just don't think he's ready yet. He played outside corner at Notre Dame. I completely, I acknowledge that. But it seemed like when he was tried out outside corner last year in the preseason, it didn't work out well. On top of that, even in the slot, he played a little bit better when he was using the slot. Later on in the season, he played a little bit better. But the outside corner, I just can't just give that number 2 spot to Julian Love. It just can't happen. The next guy probably be Corey Ballentine. I mean, I like Corey Ballentine. I think he could develop. I think he may be a better outside corner than Julian Love may be. That's just me talking here. But I just don't like the depth. I just don't like the depth at outside corner. So I want to bring in another outside corner. I really don't care who it is, but it just has to fit the cap of at least $3 million on that contract. At least, I mean, at the most. The most we're going to have to pay out is $3 million. That's all I want to pay out. So we brought in another cornerback, an undrafted free agent.
Prince something or another from URI.
Right. So I don't know if he's going to be of any value. We've seen it happen before. The Giants going out inside a corner and they cut him 2 days later. So it seems like they're trying to be very picky in this situation. It's inevitable at this point. I think DeAndre Baker's gone. It's just a matter of time of when it's official. I don't think these teams. You heard what Joe Judge said. He's not on the 90-man roster right now. At the time, it was a 90-man roster. He's not on the roster right now, and we'll let the court deal with it. That just says right there he don't want nothing to do with DeAndre Baker. So, as far as who we're going to sign, I don't know, but I would like to bring another outside corner here for some depth.
So I was trying to get a couple people in the chat.
Yep.
I mean, I agree 100% though. AJ Marshall, what's going on? Mike Nixon, what's going on? Kevin, I think I already said you, but you know what? Regardless, what's going on? So with Ross Cockrell, all that, what else? So obviously, we've gotten the coaches speaking to the media throughout the week. I mean, we had the QB coach there, Stefanski, or not I'm screwing up with the names.
Shaplinsky. There we go. Yeah, that one's hard. Yeah.
We had every positional coach. Mm-hmm. Have you read it? Had you a chance to read all the comments? Have you had a chance to go through all the comments? Anything that really stood out to you?
I was able to watch a couple of
even I'll add player in there as well.
Huh?
I'll add player in there as well.
I was able to watch a couple of players and coaches. I cannot remember. I watched about one or two coaches, but I watched a lot of the players as well. Like I watched Alvin Tomlinson. I watched Blake Martinez. He seems to be very excited to be a part of the organization. I'm starting to get a little bit more warmed up to Blake Martinez as far as the role he's going to be playing. I mean, I know we need a pass cover linebacker, but he's a guy that really he tackles really well, and he's shown that throughout the years. And that's just a step up in the right direction for the linebacker spot that the Giants so desperately needed. Something I didn't read all the comments, but I heard there's a lot of big news going on about Nick Gates and what Mark Colombo had to say early on today about Nick Gates and that he's probably better suited at center. They really like him at center. He's an alpha male. That's pretty much the quote that everybody's taking out. He's an alpha male. Listen, I don't like Nick Gates at tackle, okay? I don't like him at tackle, but I don't – me personally, I have not seen him play center yet, so I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to give the coaches the benefit of the doubt and say they know what they're talking about. They like him at center. I've never seen him take a snap at center. That's why I really didn't consider it. But I would have to agree because watching Nick Gates play tackle – like I watched that Jets game and my videos. I'm gonna have to redo the video because these comments that Mark Colombo actually made a lot of sense of what I found in watching film on Nick Gates because Nick Gates played tackle as if he was a center because he didn't use a kick slide. He doesn't anchor his foot down to hold the edge. He plays with his feet perpendicular to each other like what a center does, as if he's just trying to guard the bull rush.
He plays like a mauler, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So he plays like an interior guy. So that actually makes a lot of sense, and I'll actually have to throw that into the video. That makes a lot of sense of what Mark Colombo is saying. He probably fits the center role better. Now, I know the center role is going to be very complicated. What's that?
Center or guard.
Yeah, center or guard.
We're going to be playing center, buddy. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if, Zeitler goes down, he slides over.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But, as far as the guard spots, they're pretty much down pat, so I feel like they're really looking at Nick Gates to be that starting center. And you know what? From what I've seen on film, at him playing the tackle position, I'm actually okay with seeing him play center. Now, in my opinion, he actually has the size and weight to be a center. I just don't know why he looks undersized.
He's not exactly a small boy.
Yeah, he's not exactly small, but I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe because, I don't know. He just seems a little slim. I don't know. I don't know if it's a body fat thing, but he seems a little slim, but I think he'll play center just fine. And I know center is a hard position to play on the line because you have to know all the protections. You got to know what everybody's doing. You got to call out the protection. You got to call out the defense and what you're seeing on the field to the quarterback. I think that part he'll be okay in because he's able to learn everything on that offensive line anyway. So I think that part he'll be okay in. But I think the center position would be a good spot for him to go at because he's not really facing a guy head on all the time. We're seeing less and less nose tackles in the NFL. We're seeing a lot of 3-tech, pass rushing defensive tackles. So he's going to be in there to help out the guards, right? So he's not going to have to face a guy head on. So I actually like
somebody like the Eagles, like Fletcher Cox, loves to line up over the nose.
Right.
line up over no tackle position, which generally means over center.
Right, completely understand that. But as far as how the NFL is looking right now, we're seeing less and less guys line up at the zero tech. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the whole Nick Gates comments, but I'll have to watch completely what Mark Colombo said. But I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it too. I like it. It looks good on me because I made the prediction that Nick Gates would be the starter from day one. So.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So virtual hug to you, Nikki. There you go. There you go. Looked like more of a kiss there than a hug, but trust me, it was a hug. Damian Estrada, what's going on? I'm going to try and make Kid Blue laugh here so he spits out the water. That'd be funny as I'll start with the questions, guys. If you have any questions, please go ahead and throw them in the chat. For the most part, it's going to be me and Kid Blue chatting until I get, a plethora of questions here. Sorry if it's on a delay. The delay between, StreamYard and YouTube, big delay there. Big delay.
Yeah.
Let me get this out of the way. I just got a random email pop up here. Let me know if somebody went live. I don't care about anybody else but me right now. Anyways, give it a shot. It says, how many claps do y'all expect Jason Garrett to do this season? I'd say at least 500,000 on the conservative side.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of claps going. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be upset when I see the claps. I'm gonna see him clapping along, and when we make a bad play or maybe a good play, I don't know if I'm gonna get annoyed by it because he's wearing a Giants uniform. So,
what's the wide receiver? 84 for the Bears. He used to play for the Patriots. Special return guy.
Oh, Cordero Patterson.
Did you hear about Cordero Patterson today?
No.
That's Bears news. I don't know if Damian Estrada heard it. Yeah, Cordero Patterson is in the running back room right now.
Wow.
He's not lining up in the wide receiver room. He's in the running back.
The Bears, I mean, everywhere he went, he was used as a running, like he would sometimes be used as a running back. I remember going all the way back with the Vikings when he was playing with the Vikings. That's very peculiar. Isn't he like 6'3" or something like that? Or 6'4"?
Yeah, he's a taller wide receiver. I mean, he's speedy.
He's a tall, speedy wide receiver, and he looks nothing like a running back, but he knows how to use that kind of that skill set of a running back. So wow, that's actually very interesting.
Diehard Giant fan, what's going on, my man? Appreciate you stopping in. He says, I've been watching the position coaches' videos. I'm getting hyped up. I think we all are because I think we all want football. But yeah, we're definitely, both of us are really hyped up. Can't wait to actually go on and see what all this mess of mishmash of padded practices brings to the football field here. I am having a hard time speaking. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I had too much coconut water before I went live. I don't know what.
I like the hype that it's all building up for these position coaches because you've seen years past, but the position coaches never really got a lot of love. They never really showcased on press conferences. It seems like everybody just has this feeling about this new regime, man. All these coaches being brought together. It's like the Avengers, man. It's just a bunch of talented guys coming from every which parts of the football world just being brought to this team. And I think a lot of people are feeding into the hype for good reason.
The one coach that nobody seems to talk about, and he's on the team, and I never hear him talk about it. I'm thinking back to all the roundtables we've done. I'm thinking about to the Giants tripod we do every Sunday. That's my I came up for.
I like that, yeah.
But by the way, guys, I mean, might as well. Every Sunday, me, Kid Blue Hub get together for a Giants tripod. Once in a while, we'll bring a guest. We'll turn it to a square table. For the most part, it's been the tripod. So, anyways, going back to Freddie Kitchens. What do you think of Freddie Kitchens? Do you like the hire? Do you not like the hire? I never really got your thoughts on Freddie Kitchens.
As soon as we made the hire, as soon as he was linked to the Giants, I was extremely excited. And a lot of people were like, oh, why? He was a failure in Cleveland. No, he was not a failure in Cleveland as a position coach. He was a position coach with the running backs room as offensive coordinator. That was Baker's rookie year, I believe. It was Baker. He was the offensive coordinator, and they did very well with that offense with Baker Mayfield there. As a position coach or coordinator, Freddie Kitchens was actually a really valuable guy, and he goes back with Joe Judge a long time, as far as the reports say. And Freddie Kitchens is one of the reasons why I really like this regime because we have 3 former NFL head coaches I mean, two former NFL head coaches on the position or coordinator's job, like Jason Garrett and Freddie Kitchens, that were head coaches last year. So it doesn't matter if they were good or not at their job. They know how the system is run. They know how things go from both sides. I'm excited about Freddie Kitchens as a tight end coach. Now, I don't really know if Freddie Kitchens has been a tight end coach in the past, but I know he's very well versed in the offensive side of the ball. So I don't really have anything to look back on, like if he's developed any certain tight ends. But, I believe he can help this tight ends room that honestly has a lot of potential. If Evan Ingram can stay healthy, it's going to be great. Caden Smith is up there as well. We have this Rice and John kid that's, transitioning to tight end. He needs a guy that knows how to teach. I think Freddie Kitchens
is Rice and John. I didn't know he was transitioning to tight end. I didn't know.
Yeah. So he was a wide receiver there in Canada in the Simon Fraser University, and he's making that switch to tight end. I believe the Giants did that with the intention of, hey, if Evan Ingram goes down, we might have another guy that can replicate what he does. So I think that was a very smart move on their part. But yeah, I think Freddie Kitchens should be a good hire and help develop these tight ends.
Interesting. I like it. Well, So Andy Stroud actually has an interest. He says, with the preseason being canceled, who do y'all think will be under the most pressure, rooks or veterans? My vote is the rookies because they got to go out and prove it. Veterans, they've been there, done that. I expect there to be a lot of sloppy football all around the NFL for the first 4 or 5 weeks because it's, teams don't have that preseason under their belt. So I expect some really sloppy football, probably actually more than 4 or 5 weeks, probably 6 or 7 before teams really start dialing in, get their defense narrowed down, get their offense narrowed down. But what do you think there, KidBlues?
Oh, I completely agree with the rookies. They don't have a structure yet. The majority of their practices have been through Zoom calls. Okay, so it's going to be extremely sloppy football. I completely agree with you. No preseason game. Like, I get the no training camp game. If we could have had just one dress rehearsal preseason game that maybe nobody cares about, but it's going to be beneficial to all the other teams. If we could have just had one preseason game, I would have been okay with that just to get a little dress rehearsal going on and get ready for the season. But yeah, rookies are definitely under a lot of pressure. And I would argue as well, the coaches, the staff are probably under more pressure. They have to try to get these guys ready, and they're going to be looked at. They're going to be under the microscope by these front offices. And hey, I know we're going through a tough time right now, but get this team rolling. Go ahead and do your job. So, especially for the Giants, we're bringing in a bunch of different guys from different parts of the football world. With a new head coach that's never been a head coach before. He's under a lot of pressure, being in the biggest media capital of the world right now, being under a lot of scrutiny, how he's not qualified for the position, things like that. So he's going to be under the microscope either way. So as far as the Giants go, I think personally this team is under the most adversity in the NFL this year so far.
So I just want to say I had a couple people in chat. Eagles S&D, what's going on? I already said Giants fan. Kyle Cruz, what's going on? Kyle Cruz, I'll also get to your question in a second, but I do want to make a couple quick announcements, guys. So obviously Sunday, Giants Tripod with me, Kid Blue, and myself, and the Hub. And I think I just said myself twice, so apparently I'm
the square table with OGR twice.
Myself answering multiple questions apparently. But anyways, also after this, literally right after this, why I went live probably about 10 minutes earlier than I even told Kid Blue. I just kind of like, hey, let's go live now. Because I'm only going to go for about an hour here, guys. And then I'm going to go right into the live stream with Bobby and the sports reaction for the Red Sox and Yankees, where my Red Sox will be slaughtered. And I will do my best to troll with John Sterling home run calls that I do myself. So the best, worst home run caller in all of baseball. But Kyle Cruz asked, and we've answered this before, it says, do you think the NFL should do a bubble since the NBA bubble was such a success? No. And here's why. One, it's almost impossible. You have so many more personnel that you have to worry about. Coaches, maybe not coaches' families, but coaches, your whole because it's a 55-man roster, but you have 16 guys on top of that are on your practice squad that you also, 60 people would fill up at least, a decent, be 3/4 of like small hotels. Where are you putting the bubble? It's not like you can go down to Disney and do they have multiple 100-yard football fields that just chilling around? I don't know. It's just, how would you do it? It would be so tough. And obviously, the NFL thinks they can do what baseball did and say, you know what? We can travel from stadium to stadium. We can go from hotel to hotel room. Make sure nobody like goes out at night, shit like that. Everybody stays where it put. Maybe close down, just rent out the entire hotel room so nobody comes in. You can't really do a bubble of football. It's just too many personnel to worry about. Baseball, yeah, they've had their bumps here and there, but for the last week or two, they've been doing okay. And they're able. The only thing that I think the NFL should do is, because you're inevitably going to have a COVID breakout on the team. I think you would agree as well. If that's the case, they need to be able to give themselves some slack to make up games. So I'd say extend, give yourself a month period where you're just doing makeup games, and then go into the playoffs, something like that. That's what I think the NFL should do. Not just play out the schedule. They got to give themselves time here if there are a COVID breakout. So what are your thoughts, Kid?
I actually like that idea as well. And you're right. It's inevitable. I mean, with 1,600 players by the end of the 55, when the roster cuts go down, it's about 65, about 1,600 players in the NFL. And that's not even including, the coaching staff and front office guys and stuff like that. That's just too many guys to account for. I mean, the NBA bubble was a success because there's not a lot of guys on the team. What is an NBA team is like 15 guys? 15 guys on each team? Yeah, somewhere around there. So, you're gonna
offensive coach, defensive coach, a couple other coaches, like maybe you got like 25 on each side of both, on either side of the floor.
Yeah, right. So it's hard, extremely hard to account for all of those guys on the NFL, and on top of that, there's all 32 teams. The NBA bubble had 20 or something like that, or what have you. So it's not even, they didn't even have the full league in there. So while I would love to have something work out similar to that, it's just so hard to do. And eventually something will happen. It will crumble. So yeah.
So Mike Nixon, I'll get to your comment. I just want to say, what's going on, Brandon Rogers? Welcome in. He says, Mike says, I got two bold predictions. Everingham plays all 16 games, and the Giants beat the Steelers and the Bears. Steelers 24-20, and the Bears 23-16. So what do you think about his bold prediction?
I think that's extremely bold that we go 2-0. What was it? The Bears week 2, right? So when was it? Yeah, I think the Bears are week 2. But I guess we go 2-0 to start the season, and Evan Ingram plays all 16 games. I would love Evan Ingram to play all 16 games, and I think Evan Ingram would surpass, at least get close to 1,000 yards if he played all 16 games and stayed consistent. I think that's extremely bold, but I think it's a possibility we get the Steelers week 1. I think because everybody's, it's sloppy football. It's any man's game. One guy on one team can make one play and it could make the whole game. So I like the prediction. I hope it comes true.
I said so. Dire Giants fan as well, and I really want to answer this one because you know me. He says, in our first 4 games are messy and we go 4-12. I don't think we will. Do you see ownership having patience with Kevin? I think they should. I know a lot of Giants fans won't. I know probably ownership won't. Which then I want to choke John Mayer and Steve Tisch. At this point, you need patience. You went in. You had your opportunity to fire Dave Gettleman last year. And I personally wouldn't have been okay with it, but I would have understood it. And you could have gone out and got your GM of your choice, you could have got the coach of your choice, and you could have got the personnel of your choice. You chose to keep Gettleman for a reason. And giving him one more year with a brand new squad is not exactly my thought of, we gave him a chance. No. You make your bed, you lie in it. And the biggest problem with the New York Giants has been ownership and the lack of the ability to stick with something. And I always ask this to all Gettleman haters, and I've not heard one Gettleman hater answer this to me. I said, if they do fire Dave Gettleman, who is coming in as GM? Tell me, because the only person I see is Kevin Abrams, and that's our assistant GM. And do you really think Kevin Abrams is better than Dave Gettleman? I do not. Your thoughts?
Right. And Kevin Abrams is like the former protege of Jerry Reese. So we'll be getting another Jerry Reese. I'm not for that whatsoever. So. I completely think you're right. We've been talking about this for months, especially with our subscribers and making videos about it as well. As far as ownership goes, I think everybody needs to stop looking at Gettleman and start really looking at ownership, because they've been getting really impatient lately with things. They want to get back to winning football. The Giants were they weren't the best team around, right, for a lot of years, but they were for the most part very successful. Getting 2 rings in the past decade, that's a big accomplishment. So ownership is probably not going to be patient with Gettleman, but we need them to. We're going through a huge turn of events right now with the whole pandemic going on, and this has to be a mulligan type year. I don't think anybody should be fired this year, unless we're talking about a coach that's been there for a very long time and have the same coaching staff for a very long time through this pandemic, and should be beating up on these teams that don't have a lot of experience. And then I could see someone being fired at the end of this season, but there's no way Dave Gettleman should be fired. And then if you bring in another GM, you're gonna have to restart all over again. Jason Garrett's probably gonna be gone. Joe Judge's probably gonna be gone. All these guys are gonna be gone. If a new GM comes in, he's gonna want to restart his way. This is Dave Gettleman's team right now, and he brought in Joe Judge, and Joe Judge then brought in his guys. So it all trickles down to and it all starts with Dave Gettleman. So if you guys really want Dave Gettleman, prepare for another rebuilding year, another rebuild. We're already in a rebuild now, and a lot of you guys are getting impatient about it. If we fire Dave Gettleman, we're going to go through another rebuild, and we're going to be the Cleveland Browns. So just stick with it. Just stick with it. The Giants stuck with Tom Coughlin when he was supposed to be fired. The next year, he won the Super Bowl. All right, he was supposed to be fired the year before that. So just stick with it, and we'll see what happens.
I feel like a bobblehead doll over here. I swear to God. Every time you speak, I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Can you do me a real quick favor? Just answer this question for me. I got to get up and get something to drink. My throat's really dry.
Yeah, sure.
Reason. It says, Kyle Cruz says, what free agent will improve the most with their new NFL team? I'll be right back.
Okay. What free agent will improve the most with their new NFL team? Are you talking in a general term, Kyle Cruz, or are you talking about with the Giants, which free agent will improve? Because I can't remember off the top of my head all the free agents. I know I'm going to be missing one, but I'll narrow it down to just the Giants, and I'll say improvement. I'll say Blake Martinez, just because he feels like he was used in the wrong way at in Green Bay. He feels like with the Giants he'll be used in a lot better way. I feel like the Giants will be using him in a lot better way. Coconut water. Oh man, that's so bitter, isn't it? It's so bitter.
You gotta get good coconut water. There's a lot like Vita coconut water. Now this is just basically full circle, this is average. But the Vita coconut water, get the pressed coconut water. It's got a little bit different of a taste. And then what's the other coconut water I really like? It's the Goya kind. I can't think of the name.
Goya? Yeah, I know. The little Goya cans with the coconut water. I used to drink those back when I was a kid. I can't stand them now, man. I'm a cran grape guy, man. I'm all about the sweetness. All about the sweetness.
Which is kind of funny because cranberries are bitter.
Yeah, but the grape kind of has that aftertaste in it, and it gives you the sweetness.
Oh my God! Look at this guy, an advanced palate by Kid. Guys in the chat, spam it if you want. KidBlue Chef or KidBlue the football analyst. I'm gonna go with Chef. So our Giants says I need another 2 more years with Gettleman. So do you mean this year and next, or do you mean this year, next year, and the year after? So is it 3 total or 2? Brandon Ryder says I see the Giants a 5-8 win team. Division opponents got better. Lots of coaching upgrades. Teams will be good. The Giants had a good moves with Bradbury, Martinez, Thomas, etc. Giants should improve. Yeah, I agree. We all, as Giant fans, want to improve. I've said 7-9. I believe KidBlues right around the same record. But I'll let him speak on it.
Yeah, I think the Giants are a 7-9 team now. I think our ceiling, just because of everything going on right now, everything goes wrong. I see us going 5-11, and I honestly do not think that is going to happen. I think this regime, even though they haven't been together for a very long time, they haven't been able to, have that congruency for a very long time. But I cannot see this team being any worse, having a record any worse than last year. It has to be better. It has to be better. I'm going to be optimistic, but I honestly see this team going 7-9. I know we have a very difficult schedule. I know we have a lot of things going against us. I really believe in this team. I believe in this roster, although I think it's very flawed. but it's going in the right direction. It's going to take some time for this roster to shape up. I actually think we're actually doing a fantastic job from what this roster looked like a couple of years ago. I know we're getting some young guys that probably haven't developed as quickly as we thought they would. Looking at Lorenzo Carter, he's probably the big name that everybody wants to see develop already. There are a couple of guys, Will Hernandez, a lot of people have some gripes about him as well. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of guys. BJ Hill, RJ McIntosh, right, and BJ Hill as well. We want to see him continue to have that success. There are a couple of guys that hit a little road bumps, but you're going to see that happen with every rookie class. I think the past 3 drafts together, if you compare every NFL's team's past 3 drafts, the Giants have to at least be in the top 3. At least be in the top 3 of the past 3 drafts. I mean, we've been slam dunking all of these drafts. So I think we're on the right track. So I feel like this team has to go 7 and somewhere around 6-10, 7-9.
So when I stepped away, Kyle Cruz's want to know what general free agent do you think will have the biggest impact on his NFL team, his new NFL team, and then I just want to read this one from Dire Giants maybe before you answer that. It says the way Gettleman has been drafting and building this team the right way. You have to keep him. Free agent signings could be better, though. I mean, it's a crapshoot in free agent signings. It really is. It really is. Because you know what? Everybody plays up the Dallas Cowboy line now with Aldon Smith, Dontari Poe, McCoy, Everson Griffin. Mm-hmm. And then they tell me, oh, Tank Lawrence is coming back. I could easily see. I told my buddy, I said, that should be a good line. He goes, oh, that's going to be a great line. I said, temper your expectations. You have guys that haven't played in quite some time. I said, you have guys that are getting older. Guess what? What you think's going to happen and what's really going to happen are 2 different things. So I'd say ease your expectations, buddy, because it could be a top 5 line in the NFL. And I also could see it being a bottom 20 line. Like it's Jekyll and Hyde with them. I really do. I think they could, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys disappoint because generally that's what the Cowboys have been doing for the last 25 years to their fan base.
Exactly. I like the Cowboys roster. I think their line looks good, but you're right. There's a lot of veteran guys on there. Their defensive tackles are made up of Dontari Poe and Gerald McCoy. These are guys that have had success, but they are past their primes. So, their lines are full of veterans. Tank Lawrence is up there as well. Everson Griffin is old. So Aldon Smith hasn't played in a couple of years. So I could definitely see some stumbling down the road as far as the Cowboys line goes.
All right. So Kyle says, I'm a Texans fan. My advice to you guys, I see how your players gel. I did, and my team was pretty good. Okay. So fair enough. The college football season's struggling, having a season. Do y'all think the NFL is rethinking about starting their season? No, absolutely not. College football, I think it's more of liability issues. Now, I've heard this disproven in the media, but I think it's a liability issue. That's
right, because they're kids and they're not on contracts and stuff like that, and
they know it's just going to be harder to get them out there. But honestly, the risk is extremely low, and I think they should have a football season.
Right, exactly.
I'm just personally disappointed in the Pac-12. I'm especially disappointed in the Big Ten. I thought that was a little egregious on my thought.
Yeah, I didn't think any Power 5 teams were going to stop. I didn't think any Power 5 teams were going to do it.
Right. So it's Dire Giants says, if we end up with a 10 to 15 pick range, the draft, what position do you think we draft? Defensive end, CB, or linebacker? Me, I'm going to go linebacker. I'm going to go Micah Parsons. If Kid Blue goes defensive end, I'm not going to argue with him. CB, fuck no.
Yeah. As far as the those positions go, linebacker definitely, and D end is kind of within the 3-4. D end is like interior for 3-4. So I completely agree with the linebacker. Now Parsons is off-ball linebacker or an edge rusher.
He's an inside guy.
He's an inside guy. Okay, so I wouldn't mind that as well. As far as the cornerback goes, I don't know what the draft is looking at.
I'll just give you a quick stat on Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. In part-time play in his freshman year, he led Penn State in tackle. He did not start. He started like maybe 4 or 5 games and led the team.
Oh my god! Yeah, I heard he's gonna be an absolute legend. Like everybody's hyping this guy as the best. He's gonna be like the best linebacker to ever come out in such a long time. And I'll believe the hype. I like Penn State players, man. They work out for the most part, man. They really do. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I've watched Penn. I spent some time in Pennsylvania, so I watched a lot of Penn State growing up. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. But Micah Parsons should be. I haven't watched a film on him, but from what I'm hearing, he's great. I know a lot of people are talking about Patrick Surtain as well, the cornerback out of Alabama. So I don't know if he'll be an option. I don't. 10 to 15, I can't see it for cornerbacks. I know we have a huge role at cornerback, trust me. But cornerback is, people have been really hitting the nail on the head as far as cornerback goes. You could drop the cornerback in the third round. Look at James Bradbury. We have James Bradbury is getting paid $15 million for us, and he was a third round pick for Carolina. Okay, so you can find a cornerback, and if Parsons is there, but here's the thing: will Parsons fall to 10 or 15? That's the question.
Mike Nixon doesn't seem to think so. I say maybe because right now scouting is going to be tough. Scouting's going to be tough, and he had a good junior year. Don't get me, or yes, a good sophomore year. Is he still in? He's going to go in the top 15. And so if we're picking in that range, of course I love Penn State players. I want to see Micah Parsons as a Giant. But if we don't get Micah Parsons, I got another Penn State player that's going to probably go in the top 15 or very close to it. Pat Freiermuth, the tight end. He's the second best, if not first best tight end in all of college football. Kid's going to be a beast. Reminds me a lot of Gronk. Go up there, big catch radius, can block and do all the things you want to do. Pat Freiermuth, don't be surprised. Especially if Evan Ingram does not work out on this team. Pat Freiermuth, do not be surprised.
Man, Penn State puts out a lot of tight end guys out, right? So didn't Gesicki come from Penn State?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they put out a lot of tight end talent, but
you know who actually got Mike Gesicki, right?
Dolphins.
Well, no, the Dolphins got him, and I do like Mike Gesicki, and I wish they'd use him even more. Mm-hmm. But the coach that actually brought him in was Bill O'Brien.
Oh, okay, yeah, to Penn State, yeah. And Kyle Cruz is a Texans fan. Oh yeah, by the way, Kyle Cruz, just to troll you, the best free agent that's gonna have a best improved season is DeAndre Hopkins with the Cardinals.
All right, Nick, how should we attack the draft next offseason? With no college football, do we use tape from the previous year? Do we evaluate, or do we trust our scouts and coaches with the ties to the college game? You're going to trust your scouts and coaches with the ties. You're still going to go back and look at the film. The film doesn't lie. But I think I think more time is going to be allotted to teams to really get to know these players in the interview process.
That means so much more commercials. Oh God.
I really do think that's what's going to happen. And, since we hired a lot of college guys, do not be surprised. They're going to be ringing those phones, calling the coaches of that team to really get somebody. And that's why I always link us to Micah Parsons, because Sean Spence being there, Coach Chaos, he's got to love Micah Parsons. He was our D coordinator at Penn State. So.
Yeah. So, and to answer your question, Nikki, huh?
I forget.
D-line.
D-line, yes.
Or D-line. Yeah, D-line. But Nikki, to answer your question, it's going to be a mixture of both. There's no other way to evaluate talent except by looking at film, and it sucks that it has to be film from the year before. That's pretty much all we have to go on right now. There's no way to really evaluate this talent. And of course, you have to trust your and it's a very smart idea that Joe Judge got a lot of guys from college to bring in. And I don't know if he was thinking about that if college teams don't play, but yeah, it's a very smart move to think ahead in that case. And what was I going to say other than that? But yeah, I think it's going to be a mixture of both. Oh yeah, as far as the draft goes, there's going to be a lot of busts next year. There's going to be a lot of busts. And, I'll put it a little relative to you. I think I mentioned it before to you, OGR, but look at who was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback for Penn State a couple years ago?
Are you talking about the guy that we picked up?
No. The guy that went to the Broncos. Oh, the Jets. He went to the Jets.
Oh, the quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback.
Cornerback. Oh, it's Hackenberg.
Christian Hackenberg. Oh yeah, I remember that. All the hype that Christian Hackenberg got the draft before he went in the draft, the 2015 draft. I remember all the hype he was getting that he's going to be the next big thing. And then the 2016 draft happens and nobody's hyped on it. He somehow still went in the second round. But that's the type of stuff we're going to see next year in the draft. We're going to see a lot of guys that were hyped the year before, and they're going to be drafted high, and they're probably going to wind up being busts. So I want everybody to prepare for that. I hope the Giants don't go through that same situation, but you're going to see a lot of teams go through some really bad drafts. I guarantee you Seattle is going to have one of the best drafts because they can't draft anyway. But, yeah.
Oh, that was good. He says, wow, I see you, Kid Blue. We got Brandon Cooks, so I'm not that mad. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I don't think Brandon Cooks – I mean, Brandon Cooks is great. Don't get me wrong. But Brandon Cooks gets knocked out every year. And you got Will Fuller who can't stay healthy as well, and you got Kiki Cootie that can't stay healthy either. So, and they're all slot receivers. Who's going to play the outside? Brandon Cooks plays the outside, but is he really going to be beating these corners? You know, catching those 50. Who do you have to catch 50-50 balls? Because your tight ends are terrible too. So who's going to catch the 50-50 ball? Darren Fells, I believe he's still there, but he's old as hell. So I don't know.
Darren Fells goes up, and that's his 10th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, that's all they're going to throw to, man, because everybody's going to be hurt.
That's good. Quick one, because I'm just thinking about Texans. Lamar Miller. What do you think about the Patriots from signing Lamar Miller? That sounded really odd to me.
That is odd. I don't know, because they still have Sony Michel, and Sony Michel changed that team. Sony Michel changed that team because it made them a running team now. They actually found a really good running back. It made them more of a running team. Granted, they had really good running years with Garrett Blunt, but I feel like they found a new identity with Sony Michel. You still have Rex Burkhead over there. I know their running back room is kind of heavy, but Lamar Miller should be a good guy. I don't know why they got a running back of that stature, because he's like a starter. So I don't know. He gets hurt a lot too, but sorry. But
taking calls on my show? What the
It's all good. It looks like a scam likely call as always, but
anyways, Nick the Wick, what's going on? Nikki, yes, I'm going to be on Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk channel for the Yankees and Red Sox with my man, the Sports Reaction, and I fully expect to troll him. Yes, Nick the Wick, I am almost to 1,000. Yes, I do appreciate it.
Oh, nice, yeah. Let's get OGR to 1,000, guys. Get him to 1,000.
Let's get him to 1,000. Yes. Which rookies do you all see being good in a fantasy league? Well, considering that we joined the Hubs Fantasy League, we should know this. So let's hear your thoughts, Kid Blue.
Which rookie do you guys? Oh man, which rookie?
The easy one right off the hop is the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs with Damian Williams running out the.
Yeah, I think definitely he's going to be a workhorse. I see Jonathan Taylor as well. I know they had who is their running back over there? Marlon Mack over there in Indianapolis, but Jonathan Taylor is a workhorse. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a long career because he looks really overutilized already. But he's gonna be making some noise this year. Another guy I want to throw out there is Jerry Jeudy as well. Jerry Jeudy is probably going to rack up a lot of yards. I love CeeDee Lamb. But there's so much wide receiver talent ahead of him. Michael Gallup, who had 1,100 yards last season, and also Amari Cooper there as well. I don't know.
Don't sleep on Sutton.
Oh yeah, and don't sleep on. Yeah, I know. And Henry Ruggs as well. There's not a lot of good wide receivers on the Oakland Raiders roster anyway. So I think Henry Ruggs.
What, you're not a big Hunter Renfrow fan? Come on, bro.
Hunter's all right, but I'm not worried about Hunter Renfrow as far as taking advantage of Henry Ruggs as far as PPR goes.
Hey, PPR, watch out, Hunter Renfrow, sleeper. OGR said it, and so you know it's got to be true because hell, I predicted Nick Gates to be the starting center. So come on. Oh my God, he says. All right, Mike, if you were to pick top 5, do you see drafting Jamar Chase as a generational talent? I'll let you answer that one, Kid Blue.
What was the question? Do you see drafting Jamar Chase? A lot of people have asked me that question before, as far as Jamar Chase goes, and It's interesting. I'm probably not going to go in the top 10 to draft Jamar Chase, but I've always entertained the thought if the Giants were picking from 15 to 20 and somehow Jamar Chase falls because these wide receivers have been falling lately. CeeDee Lamb landed all the way at 18. All right. Jamar Chase, who knows if he falls? I would entertain the thought of drafting Jamar Chase. I know it's not a huge position of need, but damn, it's going to help that offense. And I know I want to draft a defensive guy, but it's going to be very, very tempting. I'm not a huge I'm not a huge wide receiver guy in the first round anymore, but it's tempting. I like Jamar Chase a lot.
So Harrison Jolly says, sup OGR, Hub, BBS.
What's up, Harrison? What's up?
He's out of New Zealand, right?
Huh?
Harrison Jolly's out of New Zealand, right?
I guess, something like that.
Yeah. Kyle Cruz says, come on, you're not a Grant Delpit fan? I did a video on Grant Delpit, so.
Yeah, I like Grant Delpit. He'll be all right.
Oh, Butcher's Blog Patriot Talk. Well, while I have you here, appreciate you stopping in. I know you're gonna, set up your stream really soon here. I'm gonna be going to about 6:50 with Kid Blue, and then I'm off. I don't know how we're working this out. Are you Skyping or are you hitting me up through StreamYard, which I'm on right now, which I couldn't think of that name. It's kind of
wait, for what? For what happened? Oh, you're talking about Butcher. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, what defense next year? I want defense next year. Okay, Jamar is certainly a top talent. I want defense too. That's where I think most of our concentration should be. I believe Kid Blue feels the same, but let him come. Oh, here's a good question. Kid Blue, who do you think's more dysfunctional, OBJ or AB?
Oh man, who's AB? It's got to be AB. It's got to be AB because OBJ's still in the league. Okay, AB has gone through a lot of headaches. Has given multiple teams headaches, and I know OBJ is on his second team and he's giving them a headache. But
I predict soon to be on his third. That's what I predict.
Yeah.
Do you think OBJ has a bounce back year? I think what you see with OBJ is what you get. I'm not saying he's not a 1,000-yard guy, but I just don't think he's that 1,500, 1,400, 15 touchdown type guy that he was for the Giants, early in his career before the ankle.
Agreed.
All right, cool. Sounds good, my man. Can't wait to work. Again, guys, I'll be live with Put Your Box Paper Talk and the sports reaction for the Boston Red Sox. So it should be fun. The dream is there. No Kyle Cheatham. If we can somehow land Gregory Russo, however
you spell it, or Chase.
Yeah. So Kid Blue. What do you want to see the most out of this season? Obviously, you want winning. I think we all, as Giants fans, want winning. But what do you really want the most out of this season from the New York Giants?
What do I want most out of the season from the New York Giants? I just want improvement. I want chemistry building. A lot of people want playoffs. I get it. I would love if it happens, it happens.
Playoffs.
Yeah, right. Playoffs. If the playoffs happen, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'll be extremely happy, of course. But I just want the chemistry building so that next year, hopefully everything goes back to normal next year in football time, 2021, as far as the pandemic goes, and we get things back to normal. And they'll have a chemistry in that season. I want them to build that this year. I know it's going to be harder. I know they're going through a lot of adversity, but I just want chemistry building. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. So here's one. Calvin says, "Hey guys, happy Friday. What's up with Clowney? Why are teams steering away from him? Why are teams steering away from him?
Why are teams steering away from
Jadeveon Clowney?
Why are teams steering away from Jadeveon Clowney? It's hard for me to put it. Listen, I know he has. I said this before. I know he has consistency issues. I know he has injury issues. I just can't see how nobody is interested in taking Jadeveon Clowney for a $7 million contract. I mean, $7 million is like below average yet starting linebacker money. I mean, that's how much Kareem Martin was making for the Giants a couple of years ago. Kareem Martin, okay? Who nobody cares about Kareem Martin. So Jadeveon Clowney would be a steal for $6 to $7 million. I don't know how on earth nobody's bringing in Jadeveon Clowney yet. I mean, there has to be something that we don't know about Jadeveon Clowney.
So we have Aaron Judge in the chat. All hail. And Raymond Meneth. What's going on? Damian Shaw says, if college football season is canceled, do you all think the NFL will have games on Saturday? And how do you think it will affect the teams? There will be zero effect. And yes, I do think NFL will have games on Saturday. Why wouldn't you? This way, more teams can be on TV and where you won't get as many. I think it kind of takes away from Sunday Ticket Direct TV. But other than that, I'll be happy. What about you?
Yeah, I'll be happy to get football anytime, man. And it's fine that it got to get spread out a little bit because I want to be able to see as much games as I can. I want to, have my my time invested in football all the time. So on a Saturday when I got nothing to do, I might as well watch some football. So, yeah, I don't mind it.
And then Kid Blue gets to watch my fantasy team dominate the league.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that goes.
So Dire Giant says improving O-line, winning culture, feeling that we have our franchise QB, etc. Kid Blue, do you think Jalen Waddle from Alabama is a first-round talent?
I would say he's first-round talent. Now I haven't went out and done film on him, but all the games I've watched of Alabama, Jalen Waddle has been a really good receiver for them. So, and Alabama knows how to put out receivers. So they had to go out this year in the first round. So they know what they're doing as far as that. They're stacked for wide receivers. So I think he's first round talent. Now top 10 talent, probably not, but first round, yeah.
Under or over when the Giants eventually cut DeAndre Baker, because I think it's all but. Is it before he's convicted or after he's convicted?
I think the writing's on the wall. I don't know what they're waiting for. The writing's on the wall, so I'll have to say probably after. I just don't know why they keep him on the roster now. Maybe they do want to see what happens because I would think they would have been cut him by now if they're just going to do it before he's convicted. So once they find out that he'll be in jail for 10 years, they're going to let him go, obviously.
So, guys, I really want you in the chat at some point. You can suggest it on any of Kid Blues videos, the Hub videos, or my videos. I really want you guys to narrow down what you want to call our Sunday live for the New York Football Giants. I'm curious.
The Tripod Trio.
The Tripod Trio. Well, a tripod's already a trio. I was actually almost going to lift up the tripod with the camera on it, like I was going to, because I have two tripods set up, one for the light and then one for the Word XI, what is going on, my man? So how do I kind of close this out here? Trying to think of an interesting question. Really hasn't been thought, but it's really tough to try. Oh, by the way, Kid Blue found the Darius Slayton jersey.
Nice.
So I'm happy.
He might. Hey, everybody, OGR might be the first person that ever got a Darius Slayton jersey, and he showed up to the Giants game with the Darius Slayton jersey. All right, and Darius Slayton scored 2 touchdowns that game, or 3. Was it 3 or 2? 2. 2 touchdowns.
Two touchdowns. Aaron Judge, I will be over on Butcher Pot and Patriots Talk channel for the Red Sox in probably about 5 to 10 minutes, I would say. Maybe probably around. I think the game goes 7:05, so we'll be around there. I'm going to be on Butcher Blocks and Patriots Talk. Yes, I said Illy Gilly says nice jersey, my man. Hey, everybody thought I was wearing Bear Pasco.
Yeah, I was like, is that a Bear Pasco jersey?
No, bro, Darius Slayton. Let's go. That's actually one thing I am looking forward to doing with you is going back to another game. I had a fucking blast in that game.
That was one of the best days of my life. I'm not gonna lie, man. That was awesome, man. Awesome.
I loved. Did you like me and that Jets fan going at it?
Oh yeah. That guy was so stupid. Oh man.
He was so stupid, but he gave me props after the game, apparently talking shit to a guy and embarrassing him in a stadium is where you get props.
Oh, that's hilarious.
OGR. Now we have to help Kid Blue find a Nick Gates jersey. No.
Oh no! Yeah, he's starting. Hey, oh man, if he starts, oh god.
No, you know what? I'm buying Kid Blue a Nick Gates jersey. If I find one, I'm gonna go get. You know what? Better yet, after I'm done calling the game, I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'm gonna look for a Nick Gates jersey. I'm gonna text Kid Blue because I got his number. He's gonna send me that address, and I'm gonna be sending Kid Blue a Nick Gates jersey. And on the next, and assuming it comes by then, on the next Giants trio, I want Kid Blue wearing that Nick Gates jersey.
Oh.
I love that idea. I have no problem blowing money on Kid Blue. Let me tell you.
Listen, guys, if Nick Gates winds up starting week 1 at any position, I will wear the Nick Gates jersey, okay? I will wear it.
You're wearing it before then, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, shiny 65.
Gross. Gross. We'll see.
And if Nick Gates is the week 1 starter, I'll get you another jersey. And you know how you can like have your own like number and then name on the back? I'll be like number 1. Nick Gates is the best offensive lineman in the New York Giants. It's gonna be really long. I love Nick Gates in the back.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Diehard Giants fan was at that game with us. So
yeah, he was.
Yeah, that guy was an asshole, but you know, I let him have it. I took care of him. Apparently Aaron Judge is not playing. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Aaron Judge.
I'm not playing though. That's funny. Oh man.
How cool it would be the real Aaron Judge just finds like maybe he's like secretly the biggest Giants fan ever, just like sneaks into our chats and oh my god. But anyways, guys, it's been a blast. I always love bringing on Kid Blue. Kid Blue, close it out here before I go on to my other live stream here, back to back.
Well, guys, thank you guys for joining in. Thank you, OGR, for bringing me on the channel for the Big Blue Courtroom. It's been much anticipated. Had a blast here talking about a number of stuff, including Nick Gates. We'll see what happens with Nick Gates. But
I bet you didn't think about talking about him.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, guys. That being said, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on Sunday for the Tripod Trio.
Exactly, the Tripod Trio, the New York Giants Tripod Trio, by the way. Anyways, guys, it's been OGR. I'll catch you on the next vid. Can't wait to see you guys in a few. Calling the Yankees and Red Sox, where the Red Sox will get slaughtered. So I'll just do my John Sterling troll bit. Yes. With TSR, a bunch of Black Patriot Talk. Looking forward to seeing you guys in a few. It's been OGR, and I am gone. There we go.